Hi guys, this is Fana, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be doing a redraw of this picture here. This little date here said that it was done in June 2015, so this is about a year and a half ago. This was not my first illustration with Copics, but it was definitely one of the first ones, and today I'm going to be redrawing her. I already transferred this one sketch. So as you can see, my art style has changed drastically in the past year and a half. Yeah, it's changed a lot. Even when I did this, I drew the eyes bigger than I normally did, but now looking at it, I'm like, wow, they're huge. But you know what? At the time, I still really liked this, and I still like some of the shading in this picture. I think this is the first time I started using this kind of technique for the ears. So I probably will actually do that same thing on this one. Alright, so here I go. So this is my OC Lacey, who is a ruffalo, which is a species that I made up for my book, This Light Must Go Out. Actually, let me rephrase that. It was a species that I made up because I saw all these original closed species running around DeviantArt, and I thought I should make my own. And then it just incorporated itself into the story. Lacey has blue skin because her normal form is this little fox-like creature whose fur is blue. And I didn't think about this when I decided to do this kind of challenge because all of my light blue markers have died, and a lot of my blue markers have died, and as you can see, these were on their last legs, and I didn't realize that or remember that until it was a little bit too late. So in the old picture, her skin has more of a brighter feel to it because I use different kinds of markers. It's almost not quite neon, but definitely brighter. Whereas this one is more muted, and I got really scared at first because I saw how sketchy it was due to the ink drying out. But it ended up looking better, like more natural, or as natural as blue skin can get. And I don't know, it's just a nice, soft feeling, and I really enjoyed it. I actually did something different than I normally do. I almost always line my sketches first. And this time I decided to overlay my sketches with the markers and then go in later on with a very thin pen when I was all done the coloring process. And as I was doing this, I wasn't sure if I was going to use a pen to line it, and I went over some of the lines, I think around her nose, with my blue pencil lead, but I ended up not liking that. I still like defined lines, and that's what I ended up with. I had difficulty with her blush because I like to blush the cheeks and the shoulders, and I couldn't find the right kind of pink that would look normal, like the pink that I normally use for more natural skin tones, like tans. They just weren't looking right on the blue skin, and they weren't blending, but I ended up finding something that I liked. The gray was a little bit darker than I would have liked for the ruffles, and with this species, they have ruffles on their ears and then on the tips of their tails if they're male. Tips of tails if they're male. Did not mean for that to happen, but it happened. When they're in their humanoid form, I can't talk today, I apologize. They keep their ears, and if they're a boy, they keep their tails. And Lacey is probably the mascot of the Ruffaloos. She's my own personal Ruffalo. I mean, I created some and sold some, and as a species, it didn't really do that well as adoptables, whereas people purchased the design. But I still really like the species, and I'm currently revamping it to put it in This Light Must Go Out. And I really liked Lacey's design. When I designed her, I wanted her with this color scheme. And I've decided that the Ruffaloos are going to be more of like normal fur colors, so like browns and grays and whites and stuff. So I'm not going to have a natural skin colors such as this one, this blue. So I don't think Lacey's going to be part of this Let Must Go Out. Her character had such a minor role that I could create a different Ruffalo just for that sole purpose. But she's still going to be the mascot for me. As you can see, I did a little bit of a different technique with the hair, because I always do such fine hair line art, and I didn't have the line art for this, so I was just kind of winging it. And normally I will go in and add white highlights with my Gellyroll pen, but I decided to just leave those spots blank. It looks more natural, and I love how the bangs turned out. They look so cool. She is going to get eyebrows, I promise. I forgot them for a while, but I add them in later on when I line the rest of it. I didn't really want her to have her dress, but I wanted to showcase her really long hair, especially the part that goes like across her front, and like it just looked weird just having this like floating like half a bust shot without having the dress. And I should have sketched out the dress beforehand, but I was like, whatever, how hard can it be? It's just red fabric. Wrong. Yeah, don't do that. So I was like, well, I don't know where her boobs are, but maybe they go right here, maybe? So her boobs look a little flat, but you know, in the old picture, she had way too big of a chest. It was like porn star kind of a chest, and we don't like that, because she's a nice young lady, and oh my, the first one had very nice boobs, and we're toning that down considerably for this picture. But her design is pretty simple, but I like that, and it's fun, and she's sweet, and I like Lacey. And actually, Lacey was just it was one of those, like, I haven't decided a name for you yet, so I'm just gonna name you Lacey. It's like a joke, and it just stuck, because one, I grew too lazy to make a name, and two, like, by the time I was like, maybe I should make a name for this character, it was too late. Too much time had gone by, and I couldn't take it back. She would forever be Lacey. So for a while now, I've noticed that I am lining with the very thin micro pen by Pentel. I don't have it sitting next to me, and I don't feel like stopping this recording to open up my pencil pouch, but just trust me when I say it's this. I do eventually go in with my Gellyroll pen, not to add highlights to the hair, but to add highlights to the skin and the fur and the ruffles. And you'll notice it a couple times, but I will put the white ink down and then rub it out, and then put the white ink down and then rub it out, because I wanted her to have kind of a soft feeling to her, because like Lacey has like soft and flowy, like her hair, and oh wait, I do add highlights to the hair, well, the lower part, but I do very much like how this turned out, and I love seeing the improvement in just a year and a half. I get art block, or I feel like my style doesn't develop nicely. I feel like I'm very inconsistent, but seeing this side by side with the old one is just such a great feeling. And here's a close-up of the picture. And I really hope you like it, and I hope that you'll be inspired. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you have a phenomenal day and keep being extraordinary. Bye!